I'd like to show you how to more effectively use probably one of the most underutilized tools in the total appraisal software. The tool that I'm referring to is the worksheet. So the worksheet comes as part of the total program. If you detach that from the form, we've developed a series of sheets within the worksheet that give us some tools that help us to be able to both support adjustments, provide analysis, as well as simplify the way that you do some of the various parts of the appraisal. In this case, we're going to show you how to use the cost approach. Now, we have physically gone in and input all of the cost data from Marshall Swift for various properties. In this particular case, we're appraising an average quality house that is between 1,350 square feet. So 1,400 square feet is close enough, and as you can see, that's $88.50 a square foot. So I put the $88.50 a square foot in. This does have a tile roof, and so I look to see what the tile roof is, which in this case is $4.94. I need to then look at floor coverings. I'm going to use the base for the floor coverings, which is $3.93. I need to add in this has a finished garage, and so when I look at the attached garage, that's telling me that it's $27.75. In this case, the multiplier is 0.95, and I know that because I've looked it up, but as you look at this, you can see here we've gone in and put the various multipliers based on the different market areas. In this case, I'm in the Bullhead City area for a property in Mojave County, Arizona. So when I put that in, now you will notice that when I come over to my form, I need to activate the cost approach. And so when I do that, it transfers my cost data. You'll see that these numbers have been factored and brought over. These were linked. So when you see the yellow on the worksheet, it tells you that it's a link from the worksheet going to the appraisal report form. In green, it's telling me that the data is being transferred from the worksheet. Now I can go in and put in my information for other things that ought to be considered. I have some things saved into my quick list where I cover my porches and patios, and in this case I've got a small 100 square foot covered patio. In this case, it's probably, I'm using a cost factor here. My slabs, I've got about 350 square feet of slabs. I've got appliances. I've got 3 at about 1,500 average. I'm wrong on my slabs. It's probably closer to 650 square feet. So what that's telling me is that I've got about $8,375. So I type that in to my cost approach. I have that. Now I have a couple of different ways that I can calculate my land value. The one is I can go through a ratio method and determine what, based on the ratio, it should be. And I've done some studies that tell me that it's between 15 and 30%. In this case, about 18% is going to be pretty close, which tells me that the site value is pretty close to $38,000. So I can put that $38,000 in, but what I'm also going to do is and then I've got a full block wall going around this, and I can go in and figure my landscape. I've got about 2,500 square feet in landscaping. I've got this is a block wall is roughly 280 lineal feet, and I'm going to take a factor of about 60% because it's shared with the adjoining property, and then The landscaping is pretty new. I'm going to give it the full feature. I can take into account other things like driveways. So if I've got about 450 square feet of driveways at $3.50, it'll give me a number that I can now use as, I'm going to round it to about $14,000 in site improvements. So using this, it then gives me the ability to complete a cost approach very quickly. Now in this case, I'm going to go to the MLS and I'm going to search for lot sales in an effort to make sure that my ratio method is not too far off the mark. And so I will go and find the lots in this area that have sold in the last 6 months. And I'm just going to look in the entire area there. And I'm going to narrow the field so I don't get too many of these things that aren't useful for me. So I'm going to go from about 1,500 of an acre to about a half acre just to see what I've got. When I look at that, these are my lot sales. I want the most recent first, and I find out in this area, I know that some of these have minimal improvements to lots of improvements, and so I can see that there's a few lots here. Some of these have sewer and water and improvements, some of them don't. I can now go select the ones that I want to include and use that as the basis for, and once I've done that, I can use my clip feature to come in and select the information that I want and come to my lot sales summary here and paste that in place. I generally like to try to get it to where it's a little more readable, so I will see if I can get the image to rotate, which is not wanting to let me do right at the moment. So that being the case, I'm just going to let it go. But what it does, it's given me support for my site value, which in this case is suggesting maybe it's a little lower than what I had done on my ratio method. So I'm going to come down to page 3, and I'm going to say that based on my sales, the value of the land is $26,000. I can plug that number in here, and I've completed my cost approach. Now, one of the things that I like to do is to come back to my worksheet and take the information that I got on this cost summary. I will copy and paste it. I'm now going to say that this was average quality. My effective date was January of 2019. It was from Marshall Swift, and I now have completed a credible cost approach without having had to spend too much time in doing it. So I hope that that is one of the ways. Now you'll see that we have a variety of worksheets, sheets within the worksheet that we use, and at a later time I will put together a little video that just shows you some effective ways to be able to utilize some of these other tools. I hope that's useful. If it is, make sure you subscribe, and you can get more content that shows you how to more effectively use some of the tools built right within your software to better support your appraisal product in a quick and easy way.